What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my studios and shout out to the fan club. And we finally got some entertainment news from the upcoming Power Rangers reboot or a new season done right. So shout out to the fan club once again. Let's dive into this video, y'all.
Hasbro is working on something, folks, for Power Rangers. We don't know exactly what it is yet, but we did get some confirmation that Power Rangers is still a thought inside the Hasbro brain, all right? They're
Are you
still
sure?
working on something behind the scenes. Let's talk about it, break it down. Hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the fan club.
You're watching the fan club.
And you're watching the fan club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the fan club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my
Alright, let's see what they got cooking. Please give us the good.
When you out here in these streets, but my morpher when it morph, I made a fake.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the fan club. It is
Please
your boy
let this be
Brosdan
some good news,
Brosdan
y'all.
in the building. First of all, I have to shout out all the fans out there. Thank you for sticking with us even in a year where there is no Power Ranger news. We really appreciate you guys. In today's video, we actually have some Power Ranger news. It's not a lot, but definitely something you fans want to hear. Hasbro has not given up on Power Rangers, and they are working on something. We don't know what, but let's talk about this. So shout out Mariba. Mariba was in my inbox. Let me know that they talked to Oliver Dumont, the president of Hasbro Entertainment. Now, Maribo asked, can we expect to hear news regarding other future Hasbro Entertainment projects soon? And then Oliver responds and says, thank you for the kind words. We have a lot more gems lined up in film, television, and kids, so stay tuned. Mariba responded and said, looking forward to it. Does that include Power Rangers? And then Oliver replied back and said, yes, we do have some exciting plans for quite a few brands, including Power Rangers, but shh, close your mouth, keep it zipped. Basically is what those are.
Nah. Whenever he said that, understand that there's going to be some leaks by Jinzaku and everybody behind this project or whatever Power Rangers stuff that Hasbro has in store for us. Because I'm glad that they're actually keeping up with the Power Rangers brand, but I think the question is, do fans really want a new Power Rangers project? Because we've been quiet for the last 5 to 6 years, ever since we heard about the Jonathan and Twister reboot. So we barely have nothing this year. But at least Hasbro is still thinking about our franchise. So I'm going to get to all of that towards the end of the video.
What they are doing, we've heard a lot of different things. We've heard that the Jonathan Entwistle project is canceled. They're moving in another direction. Does that mean that the TV-14 idea is done? Are we working on another kids show? What exactly is going on? We have no idea, and we have been in the dark for so freaking long. We do know that we are getting some toys next year from Playmates.
Yeah.
We know we are getting a new Power Rangers comic book series.
Yeah.
These past few years
This November
have been about phasing out all of the old stuff. But when are we going to get that new wave of Power Ranger TV shows, movies? I see we have some toys, but those are going to be Mighty Morphin. And I don't really have a problem with them selling Mighty Morphin toys because they're going to sell. But is there ever going to be something new again? I know that in the comics, they always give us some new storylines and new Rangers and stuff like that. But there isn't anything new as of right now from the show or series or anything like that. So it's exciting when you hear stuff like this from Oliver Dumont saying
Yeah. You know, shout out to Oliver, because I feel like when people don't realize that Mighty Morphin is selling like flies, regardless of what they make. Toys, comics, video games, and whatnot. Mighty Morphin will always be that top brand that the public and the whole world remembers, because remember, they were famous in the 90s. So, in 2024, new comics, Readers Rewind video game, and Playmates Toys of 2025. Heck, I wouldn't even imagine if we get new confirmation on the new MMPR reboot. That's gonna like burn some bridges with the fans that, you know, that quote unquote the casual fans that want something new. You can have your new things, but we're talking about Mighty Morphin because you know that's business. Mighty Morphin sells. But whether we're gonna get a new Mighty Morphin game, a TV show, you're getting new things based on Mighty Morphin regardless. But with new storylines and new moments, you could do stuff like that. You know? And if you're calling yourself trying to create a new team that is inspired by Mighty Morphin, I mean, I'm open to that idea, but if it's done right, but if you try to do something stupid, try to completely get rid of Mighty Morphin and have it stay far, far away from the fandom, from the public, just because you despise it. You can't do that. That's not how business works.
Quite a few brands, including Power Rangers. Maybe this isn't the time to share the news. I don't know what in the heck is going on, but I would love for them to get something cooking. We know that the fans want it. It looked like Power Morphicon was a success. Whenever I go to a bunch of cons, the Power Ranger lines are pretty long to go see the Ranger actors. Power Rangers used to be the #1 show back in the 90s. And it aged, okay? And it didn't necessarily age with the target demographic. A lot of these fans got older and never watched it again. And the people working on Power Rangers never really gave them a reason to check it out. It was always a kid's show. So it would be nice if we had a show dedicated for kids and a show dedicated for adults. But to have two shows, they're going to have to make some money. So whatever they first do when it comes to this new revamp of Power Rangers, I really hope it's a success so they can put time and resources into a TV-14 project, because that is what we've wanted for the longest time. A Power Rangers universe for us adults that grew up on the show. Now, we've talked so many times till we're blue into the face how making a preschool show targeted at the new generation, so making like a Spidey and His Amazing Friends, a PJ Masks, like that Coco Melon style CGI, that would be genius for Power Rangers. You could bring in so many different voice actors, characters, etc., and then use that money to put back into a TV-14 project similar to like Titans and Teen Titans Go, stuff like that. I think that would make so much sense. I don't know what they're doing at Hasbro. There used to be a whole Power Ranger team for stuff like this. They got rid of the team. We don't really know anything except for things like this when they pop up. So we have to shout out Mariba. I'm probably messing up your name, but shout out you. You're freaking awesome. Thank you for getting in our inbox and sending us this stuff. We love you guys. Shout out all of the...
And shout out to the fan club once again. And he absolutely right. If we could just get like multiple Power Rangers projects for the kids and adults. Like for the kids projects, you could just continue to adapt the Sentai. Maybe use some Japanese footage, but make the story mean something and make it make sense. You don't always have to talk down to the kids all the time like you're doing now. You know, it could just be something more mature, but more kid-friendly at the same time. But for us adults that grew up with Power Rangers, you could just elevate the stories and make it more mature and serious with some good drama and comedy at the same time. But we want Power Rangers to be more mature and the actions to be leveled up instead of like giving blows to the face all the time. Because I know back then there were like 2 pilots where violence to the head were allowed that didn't air in America. But the final version of the 3rd pilot, they actually toned down the violence, and I really didn't like how they did that though, but it is what it is. But we've been having these same type of fight styles for years. But I think most Power Ranger shows, they sometimes kick enemies in the face. But RPM did some of that. But Once and Always did that, and they broke the rules, and they need to keep doing that. So I think what I would say is this. if you're gonna make a Power Rangers reboot, at this point, what you can do is make it like once and always, but throw some money into it. Have the guy in the suit. Use some practical effects instead of using CGI. You know, bring in somebody from the Pacific Rim and Travis Knight to do the Megazords and they CGI it perfectly. Because if you do that with the transformation, you got your Power Rangers content. Comics, video games, TV shows, an animated movie or show. I would love to see that. In the styles of Ninja Turtles meet Mayhem and into the Spideyverse franchise. I want to see the Power Rangers movie in those type of anime styles. It can bring in money. You don't have to be cheesy, but just make it work is what I'm trying to say. But at least Hasbro is not giving up on the franchise, nor have they not forgotten about us. Even though they stopped doing the toys, but as far as like entertainment goes, they haven't forgotten. So shout out to them. And shout out to the fan club, and shout out to that brother on Twitter for getting in deep with them, working on a Power Rangers project, even though they can't say much, but at least we know what's going on. So I've always said this, if you allow them to cook, then you got something. So link to the original video will be down below, and I'm gonna catch you